Hey friends, today's reading is all about what career or job will truly value your gifts. Have you ever felt like your true gifts aren't being seen, let alone even valued in your career? In this reading, we're going to uncover the path where your unique talents are not only recognized, but celebrated, and where you're supported, fulfilled, and compensated the way you deserve. If you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with Selenite. We have pile 2 here with Trollite. We have pile 3 here with Flint. And we have pile 4 here with Sodalite. You can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. It is such an honor and a privilege, and I will see you on the inside. Hi pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. So let's first talk about your core gift. We'll talk about what natural talent, strength, or soul gift that you bring to the world, and we'll talk about the energy that makes you stand out. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is all about you having this gift of adaptability. Pile 1, you understand the natural cycles of change, and you can move with them rather than resist them, right? So you see possibilities in endings and beginnings that other people miss. So this makes you an excellent guide during times of transition. I feel like you're the person people look to and say, they always land on their feet, but really it's your ability to spot opportunities and change that sets you apart. So for example, maybe some of you here are a career coach who helps people pivot into new opportunities. Or maybe you're a crisis counselor who holds space for other people in times of upheaval in their life, right? Or maybe you're a storyteller or a content creator who weaves wisdom out of life's twists and turns. We also have Talk to the Moon, communicate. So I feel like the message here is that your voice is a gift, whether through speaking or writing or teaching or creative expression. You help other people understand feelings and dreams that they couldn't quite put into words themselves. So I feel like you give people the language to understand themselves better, right? Your words don't just inform, they heal, they soothe, and they inspire, right? Maybe some of you here are writers or poets whose words bring comfort and clarity. Or maybe you're a motivational speaker who sparks hope during transitions. Or maybe some of you here are a teacher or a guide or a YouTuber whose messages feel deeply personal and empowering. So next, let's talk about how the world needs your gift. We'll talk about the kind of environment, the community, or the industry where your gift can thrive and where you'll feel seen and appreciated. So we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse here. So I feel like the world doesn't need you stuck in monotony, pile 1. You're not here for that endless grind or, to work in like outdated systems or anything like that. Instead, you are going to thrive when you break stagnant energy patterns and you introduce fresh energy. Because you know how to show people that slow and steady doesn't always have to mean uninspired. You bring movement where things have maybe grown rigid in people's lives. So maybe this looks like some of you here being an entrepreneur who leaves corporate to create something innovative. Or maybe some of you here are wellness coaches who teach people how to break free of draining routines. Maybe some of you here are innovators of some sort who challenge traditional methods in education or business or wellness. We also have the King, Sun, and this one says, I powerfully lead my mission. So pile 1, you are naturally regal, powerful, passionate, courageous, sovereign, responsible, benevolent, creative, innovative, decisive, directive, inspiring, visionary, and respected. So again, I feel like, needless to say, pile 1, you are a natural leader. I feel like this is something that you've always known. And, you shine brightest when you're guiding a mission with clarity, with passion, and with vision. I feel like the world values your gift most when you step into the role of director and not follower, right? You're the person that other people look to when things feel foggy or unclear. You don't just bring light, you help other people see their way forward. So maybe you're a founder who leads a mission-driven business. Or maybe you're a teacher who inspires students to see their own brilliance. Maybe you're a community organizer or leader who rallies people around a powerful cause. So let's talk about some career pathways and possibilities. We'll talk about the types of careers, roles, or directions that align with your soul's blueprint, and we'll talk about real-world examples or archetypes. So we have the Three of Cups here, and with this, I feel like your career pathways are rooted in community, right? They're rooted in collaboration, things like celebration. So you are meant to thrive in spaces where joy and connection are central. You bring people together and you make them feel like they're a part of something special, right? Because your success comes through collaboration, not isolation, Pal One. So maybe this looks like you hosting retreats or workshops that connect and uplift people. Or maybe this looks like running a community platform or a collective where people support one another. Or maybe this looks like you working in some sort of creative or nonprofit space where teamwork really does fuel the mission. We also have space, time, and self, infinity, reincarnation, and 5D. Trust in the places you feel guided towards. So your work is tied to the bigger picture, right? Spiritual truths, timeless wisdom, or maybe even in visionary projects that leave a legacy, right? So you are here to remind people that they're part of something eternal. This isn't just about a paycheck, it's about creating something that continues to ripple through time. So maybe some of you here are spiritual teachers who guide people toward soul remembrance. Or maybe you're an author who writes books with messages that live beyond you. Or maybe some of you here are visionary entrepreneurs who are creating solutions for future generations. So next, let's talk about how you'll be valued and compensated. We'll talk about how recognition, money, or fulfillment comes in when you step into this path. And we'll also talk about what long-term success could look like for you. So we have the King of Wands in reverse here. With this, I feel like maybe you're not going to find your true value in roles where your leadership is suppressed or where you're expected to follow somebody else's vision. I feel like fulfillment and compensation are going to flow to you when you own your power and when you step into leadership fully. If you felt frustrated or overlooked in past roles, that is your soul nudging you towards something greater in terms of authority and freedom. So for example, maybe some of you here leave a micromanaged job to start your own coaching practice, right? Or maybe you move from an assistant role to a creative director. Maybe you launch a personal project where you call the shots. We also have Apollo, insight. So I feel like your insight is your currency, right? You see truths and patterns that other people miss. And so people will pay for that clarity. Your value lies not only in how many hours you work, Pile One, but in the breakthroughs and the direction that you provide. People don't just seek your advice, they seek your vision, your clarity, and your ability to see what they can't. So maybe for some of you here, this would be you being a consultant and being paid for transformative ideas, right? Or maybe as a healer, you would be offering deep insight that changes lives in some way, right? Or maybe as a creator, you build an audience who values your way of connecting the dots. So let's get some additional insights. We also have light cleanse, clearing stuck energy. So the last step is clearing what blocks your light, Pile One. Old jobs, stagnant environments, and any sort of lingering doubts need to be released so that your gifts can be seen and valued. Think of it as like clearing dust off a mirror, and your reflection becomes brighter and undeniable once you let go of what dims you. So for example, maybe this looks like you leaving a draining job to make space for aligned opportunities, right? Or releasing family or societal expectations that pressure you to play small. Or maybe this looks like you cleansing your environment and doing some sort of ritual to create some sort of expansive workspace. So let's roll some astro dice. Let's get more info on the career or the job that will truly value Pile One's gifts. Okay, so we have Mercury, or we can just put it here. We have Mercury in the 5th house here. So I feel like your gifts shine in creative self-expression, Pile One, right? In things like communication and playful intelligence. You are going to thrive when your ideas, your teaching, or your entertainment spark some sort of joy in others. So I feel like career paths that value things like this are creative writing, right? Copywriting. Maybe you want to be a novelist or a content creator or an advertising copywriter. Maybe for some of you, this looks like education or coaching, right? Maybe being a drama teacher or a public speaking coach or a life coach. Or maybe for some of you here who are interested in media and entertainment, maybe this is being a YouTuber, being a podcaster, being a TV host. For those of you who are leaning toward marketing and creative strategy, maybe like a social media strategist or a campaign planner. I'm also feeling arts and performance here, so maybe you want to be a playwright or an improviser or a musician or a comedian, right? I feel like the key here is finding a job where your intellect meets creativity and where you get to communicate in fun, engaging ways. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that your gifts were given to you for a reason, and there is a career out there that will not only see your value, but reward it. Your gifts matter, and the world is waiting for them. If this reading resonated with you, let me know in the comments what pile you picked and what came up for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement to follow their true calling. If you want to go deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I am beyond honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, Pile 2. Hey, friends. So let's talk about your core gift. We'll talk about what natural talent, strength, or soul gift that you bring to the world and the energy that makes you stand out. So we have the Nine of Cups here. And so your gift is the ability to create joy, fulfillment, and this sense of abundance wherever you are. I feel like you naturally embody contentment and people are drawn to your positive, heart-centered energy, Pile 2. You remind other people that happiness isn't just a distant goal, but it's something that we can actually cultivate now. I feel like you stand out because you don't just dream about fulfillment, but you live it, and you show others how to access that same energy within themselves. So, for example, maybe you're a lifestyle coach who helps other people to create joy-filled lives. Or maybe you're a host or a community leader who makes everyone feel welcomed and satisfied. Or maybe some of you here are creative artists who express beauty and delight in ways that uplift people's spirits. We also have Moonstone. It says slow it down. So another gift that you bring is the power of slowing things down. I really do feel like you're a natural at helping people to pause and reflect and to connect with their intuition instead of rushing through life. Sometimes I feel like we're in a world that's obsessed with speed and productivity, and so your presence teaches the wisdom of stillness. Right? You stand out because you don't get caught up in the rush, and you know that the real magic happens when we take time to breathe, to feel, and to notice. So maybe some of you here are mindfulness teachers or meditation guides, or maybe some of you here are healers who want to encourage deep reflection and inner awareness. Maybe some of you here are creative entrepreneurs who build a business with intentional pacing instead of rushing and burning out quick. So let's talk about how the world needs your gift. We'll talk about the kind of environment, community, or industry where your gift can thrive and where you'll feel seen and appreciated. So we have the Knight of Wands in reverse here, and with this, I feel like the world doesn't need more reckless speed or impulsive energy like we were speaking about earlier. It needs your ability to temper passion with wisdom, because your gift is going to thrive where you can redirect scattered energy into grounded purpose. So again, you help other people slow down, you help them focus, and you help them to commit to a path instead of burning out by chasing too many things at once. Maybe some of you here are business mentors who teach clients to sustain long-term growth rather than quick wins. Or maybe some of you here are wellness practitioners who help people break cycles of burnout. Maybe some of you here are teachers who show students how to balance enthusiasm with patience and discipline. We also have the Queen, Moon, and it says, I am an empowered feminine leader. Pile 2, you're naturally regal, courageous, prosperous, loyal, powerful, compassionate, intuitive, responsible, administrative, knowledgeable, and trustworthy. So I feel like you thrive in environments where emotional intelligence, intuition, and empathy are valued. I feel like you're a leader who leads with heart and intuition and not just logic. So people feel safe and nurtured and deeply understood in your presence. And you stand out because you blend leadership with compassion. You are actual proof that strength and softness can exist together. So maybe some of you here are therapists or coaches who lead with intuition and empathy. Or maybe some of you here are community leaders who empower women or marginalized voices. Maybe some of you here are spiritual guides who balance wisdom with nurturing care. Next, let's talk about career pathways and possibilities. We'll talk about the types of careers or roles or directions that align with your soul's blueprint. We'll talk about any real world examples or archetypes as well. So we have the star here, and with this, I feel like your soul is aligned with careers where you bring hope and healing and inspiration. Pile 2, you are meant to shine as a guiding light for others because you know how to help people believe in their future again. You're the kind of person whose presence reminds other people that their story isn't over and that there's light ahead even after darkness. So maybe some of you here are healers or spiritual guides who help people to reconnect to hope. Or maybe you're a public figure or artist or creator whose work inspires collective healing. Or maybe some of you here are humanitarians or activists who bring light into dark places. We also have Goddess of the Sea, abundance, purification, ego. It's time to come home. Your path is tied to emotional cleansing, Pile 2. I really feel like your path is also very deeply tied to the flow of abundance. You help other people release what no longer serves them, which I feel like helps them to open to deeper nourishment, whether this is emotional or spiritual or financial. You stand out because you guide other people through emotional tides with grace, and you remind them that abundance comes when you release fear, when you release ego. Maybe some of you here are holistic healers who specialize in energy clearing or emotional release. Maybe some of you here are writers or teachers who help other people transform scarcity mindsets into abundance. Or maybe some of you here are wellness entrepreneurs who offer practices that purify the mind and the body and the spirit. Next, let's talk about how you'll be valued and compensated. We'll talk about how recognition, money, and fulfillment will come to you when you step into this path. We'll talk about what long-term success could look like for you. So we have the 9 of Wands in reverse here. And with this Pile 2, I feel like you'll be valued when you stop carrying everything alone. I feel like the compensation and the recognition that you're looking for will come when you finally allow support and collaboration and rest. You're not meant to constantly push through, right? And so your value is going to shine when you work in ways that honor balance. And balance, that's like based on what your nervous system needs, right? We all have different nervous systems, and I mean, we all have nervous systems, but like all of us have nervous systems that respond to things in different ways, right? We're all walking nervous systems. And so I feel like sometimes people will try to tell you what to do based on what feels good to them and their nervous system, but this is about you tuning into what feels good to you. What does your body need, your mind, your soul, physical, everything, right? And following that compass. So I feel like people are going to reward you for not burning out, but for also showing them what it looks like to succeed without exhaustion. So for example, maybe you transition from working solo to creating supportive teams or collaborations. Maybe some of you here build a business model that pays you well without overworking you. Right? Or maybe you want to offer group programs instead of one-on-one services so that your energy can stretch further. We also have rainbow reflection. So your value is tied to your ability to reflect truth and beauty back to others. Because I feel like a rainbow after the storm, you remind people of hope and possibility. And so this reflection is what people pay for. You know, the chance to see themselves in a more empowered, hopeful light. And your long-term success is going to come through the ripple effect of your inspiration. Like when people feel changed after being in your presence, they invest in you, right? So maybe you're a motivational speaker whose message helps audiences see new possibilities, right? Or maybe you're an artist or a creator whose work reflects collective emotions and heals them. Or maybe some of you here are coaches or guides who mirror back clients' strengths until they see it for themselves. So let's get some more insights here. We have clarity, seeing and feeling the truth. I love that. Everything was about intuition. It's like clarity, seeing and feeling the truth. It's what you're natural at. So I feel like the final insight is about clarity, right? Your power is going to grow as you continue to see and feel the truth, both in your own journey and in others. You're going to know when to say yes. You're going to know when to slow down. And most importantly, I feel like you're going to know when to walk away. So this clarity is part of your gift Pile 2. People trust you because you help them see what's real beneath the surface, right? In a world full of fakery and BS, you are actually somebody who helps people see that real beneath the surface. So maybe you're a spiritual mentor who helps clients cut through confusion and self-doubt. Or maybe some of you here want to be strategists or consultants who identify the real issue and offer practical solutions. Maybe some of you here are healers who reveal the emotional truth beneath the physical or the energetic block that somebody's going through. Next, let's roll some astro dice. Let's get more information on what career or job will truly value your gifts. So we have the North Node in the 6th house. I feel like your soul growth is going to come through things like service, daily work, skill mastery, and really helping other people in practical ways. Your gifts are going to be valued in careers where your contribution directly improves systems, health, or efficiency. So I'm thinking straight up of like healthcare and wellness, right? This is like just the most obvious. Nurses, physical therapists, being a nutritionist, being a holistic healer. Maybe for some of you here who are more interested in education or coaching, maybe some of you here want to be a teacher or a corporate trainer or a life coach or a mentor. Maybe some of you here would rather be in an organization or a service role, right? So maybe like a project manager or an executive assistant or an operations coordinator. And for those of you who are loving work that's more like related to being analytical and detail oriented, I can also see some of you here wanting to be accountants or researchers, maybe even like a quality control specialist or a data analyst of some sort, right? So I feel like the key here is hands-on, meaningful work that helps other people improve processes, right? Places where your reliability and your skill are recognized. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that your gifts were given to you for a reason, and there is a career out there that will not only see your value, but reward it. Your gifts matter, and the world is waiting for them. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments what you picked, what pile you picked, and what came up for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement to follow their true calling. If you want to go deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. So let's talk about your core gift. We'll talk about what natural talent, strength, or soul gift that you bring to the world, and we'll talk about the energy that makes you stand out. So we have the 6 of Wands in reverse here. So I feel like your gift is all about this quiet confidence and resilience. You're the kind of person that shines even when recognition isn't immediate or public, right? So you naturally inspire others through things like authenticity and persistence rather than seeking applause, right? So people are drawn to your energy because they see your reliability and they see the way that you quietly get results, right? So maybe you're a project manager who ensures the success behind the scenes without needing the spotlight. Or maybe you're a mentor who helps their mentees grow and celebrate their achievements rather than seeking credit, right? Or maybe you're a nonprofit coordinator who lifts up a community without seeking recognition. We also have moon circles here, support. And so I feel like you have an intuitive gift for creating a safe, supportive space in some way. I feel like other people feel nurtured and held by your presence, and your guidance just comes naturally. I feel like you're the person that people can lean on when they're lost or when they're overwhelmed or when they're in need of encouragement. So for example, maybe some of you here are counselors or therapists who provide emotional support. Or maybe you're a group facilitator or a coach who builds a sense of community and trust, right? Or maybe you're a spiritual guide or a healer who creates embodiments for deep reflection and growth. So next, let's talk about how the world needs your gift. We'll talk about the kind of environment, community, or industry where your gift can thrive and where you'll feel seen and appreciated. So we have the 7 of Pentacles here. And so the world needs your patience and your dedication and the ability to nurture growth over time, pile 3. I feel like you excel in careers where effort and consistency and long-term vision lead to meaningful outcomes, because you're the one who can plant the seeds today and trust that they will flourish tomorrow. So maybe this looks like you becoming a financial planner who guides clients toward long-term stability. Or maybe you're a project manager who wants to oversee multi-year initiatives. Maybe some of you here are business owners who are steadily growing a brand with purpose and persistence. We also have the strategist, Mars, and this one says every vision has a plan. So you are naturally high achieving, productive, calculating, passionate, decisive, ambitious, enthusiastic, systematic, competitive, active, tactical, goal-oriented, persistent, and gritty. I feel like your strength is bridging vision and execution. You see how your ideas can become a reality and guide others to get there. You stand out because you can turn abstract goals into actionable step-by-step plans. Right? So maybe some of you here are business consultants who want to create clear strategies for startups. Or maybe you're a logistics or operations manager who coordinates complex projects, right? Or maybe you're a coach who helps clients break down big dreams into achievable steps, right? Like, okay, say somebody's like, I want to make money off of YouTube. Okay, well, what's the first thing that you need to do? You need to create a plan, right? What do you want to post about? What do you want your channel to be about? Then the next thing is to start posting, right? The next thing is to be consistent and to just keep showing up and to keep fine-tuning your brand and fine-tuning your message. And the next thing to do eventually is to become monetized. And then, maybe you don't have to do this after you become monetized, but maybe the next step is to create an LLC and to set up your direct deposit so you can get paid through YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, breaking the larger concept down into smaller action steps so that you can actually achieve and accomplish those goals. So next I want to talk about any sort of career pathways and possibilities, right? Let's talk about the types of careers, roles, or directions that align with your soul's blueprint. We'll talk about real world examples or archetypes as well. So we have the Magician in reverse here. And with this, I feel like your career aligns with some element of reclaiming personal power and using your tools in very unique ways. I feel like you're going to shine when you trust your own skills and your creativity instead of relying on conventional formulas. So you are someone who creates magic by combining what you already know in ways that other people wouldn't think of, right? So maybe you're an entrepreneur who's developing a unique business model that's tailored to your strengths. Or maybe you're a creative professional who solves problems in unconventional ways, right? Or maybe you're a consultant who helps clients identify untapped potential so that they can leverage it. We also have memento mori, life, presence, and depth. The meaning is in the middle. Interesting. So I feel like your gift thrives in meaningful, impactful work. You bring presence, depth, and this gravitas, pile 3. And I feel like you know how to engage with life's profound questions, right? And transformative experiences. So I really do feel like people are drawn to your ability to explore depth and offer perspective that resonates on a soul level. So maybe you're a writer or a speaker or a teacher who explores life's deeper truths. Maybe you're a grief counselor or a spiritual guide who supports others through major life transitions. Maybe you're an artist or a filmmaker who creates works that inspire reflection and awareness. So next, let's talk about how you'll be valued and compensated. We'll talk about how recognition, money, and fulfillment will come to you when you step into this path and what long-term success could look like for you. So we have the Moon. So I feel like you're going to be valued for your insight, pile 3. I feel like you're going to be valued for your intuition and your ability to navigate uncertainty. I feel like people are going to recognize the guidance that you offer through things like ambiguity and complexity, right? Like you have this unique perspective that helps others to see what's hidden or unclear, and it makes your contribution completely invaluable, right? So maybe you're a consultant who offers intuitive business or life guidance, or maybe you're a creative professional who tackles abstract or symbolic projects. Maybe you're a spiritual mentor who helps other people uncover hidden patterns in life or in your career. Now, we also have solar maximum, accomplishment. So this is amazing, right? This means that fulfillment and recognition are going to come when your work produces tangible results that align with your purpose. I feel like people respect and reward your ability to manifest meaningful accomplishments, pile 3. So success is naturally going to follow when your efforts reflect your values and your vision. So maybe some of you here are a project leader who completes initiatives that impact communities or organizations. Maybe you're an entrepreneur who builds a venture that changes lives. Maybe you're a thought leader whose work generates measurable transformation. So let's get some more insights. We have self-soothing. This one says creating safety and calm. So pile 3, your power is going to grow as you create inner safety and emotional calm. I think that by you prioritizing self-care and boundaries is going to ensure that you can serve other people sustainably. I feel like your calm, grounded energy inspires trust and allows your gifts to flourish, right? So maybe you're a leader who models balance and stability for a team. Maybe you're a healer who maintains practices that protect and replenish energy. Maybe you're an entrepreneur who designs a business that supports your long-term well-being. Let's also roll some astro dice to get more info for pile 3 on what career or job will truly value their gifts. Okay, so we have Saturn in the 6th house. So I feel like your gifts are going to shine in careers that reward discipline and structure and reliability and a mastery of skills, right? You thrive where hard work is respected and precision matters. So some themes coming up here are like responsibility and routine, practical problem solving, right? Back to that strategist energy, giving service with integrity, right? Long-term skill development. So I think some real life examples here could be like being in accounting, being a financial analysis, right? Something where meticulous structured work is valued. I'm also thinking of healthcare, nursing, maybe even physical therapy, right? Disciplined service with clear procedures. Maybe some of you here would be interested in project management or like operations, right? Organizing people and systems efficiently. I know that my mom is like a rock star when it comes to this kind of stuff. So it's like finding that thing that you're like really good at and just running with it, right? Maybe for some of you here, you would be a wonderful engineer or an architect, right? Where precision and technical mastery and responsibility are vital. Maybe some of you here would do well in skilled trades, right? Like being an electrician or a carpenter, really having these tangible results from disciplined effort. I'm also thinking of like data analysis and research, right? Something where methodical and thorough work are necessary. I just feel like your gifts are going to be most appreciated in roles where reliability and consistency and competence are non-negotiable. So thank you so much, friends. I really, really do appreciate you here. Remember that your gifts were given to you for a reason, and there is a career out there that will not only see your value, but reward it. Your gifts matter, and the world is waiting for them. So if this reading resonated with you, let me know in the comments what pile you picked and what came up for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs encouragement to follow their true calling. If you want to go deeper, I've got my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all. Hi, pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. So let's talk about your core gift. We'll talk about what natural talent, strength, or soul gift that you bring to the world, and we'll talk about the energy that will make you stand out. So we have the 9 of Swords in reverse here, and with this, your gift is humility and resilience in the face of external recognition. You may not always seek praise, but you have the ability to lead and to inspire quietly, pile 4. I feel like you shine through steady persistence and through things like authenticity, even when the spotlight isn't on you. I feel like you stand out because you don't need an applause to validate your worth, and people sense your integrity and quietly gravitate toward your guidance. So, for example, maybe you're a behind-the-scenes strategist or manager who ensures projects succeed without needing public credit. Or maybe you're a teacher who empowers students without seeking accolades. Maybe some of you here are nonprofit leaders who quietly uplift a community and transforms lives, right? We also have reach for the moon, go for it. So I feel like your core gift is in creating these safe, nurturing spaces for others. I keep thinking of places like Boys and Girls Clubs or like after school care. I don't know if that would resonate with some of you here, but like there are safe places, safe spaces that are necessary for like children to go to, right? In like urban areas, or like it could be not even urban areas, rural districts as well. So I'm thinking about things like that for some of you here, but I also feel like you're the kind of person who intuitively knows how to hold space for people or offer guidance and support people's growth emotionally and spiritually and practically. And you stand out because people feel safe sharing their fears and their dreams with you, and your support feels like a lighthouse in stormy seas. So, for example, maybe some of you here are a mentor or a coach who builds strong rapport networks for clients. Or maybe you're a therapist or a healer or a counselor who fosters trust and emotional safety. Maybe some of you here are community organizers who bring people together to support and uplift each other. So next I want to talk about how the world needs your gift. We'll talk about the kind of environment, community, or industry where your gift can thrive and where you'll feel seen and appreciated. So we have the High Priestess here. And with this, I feel like the world needs your patience. They need your perseverance, Pile 4. They need your vision. You excel in environments where growth is intentional, where comfort is something that compounds over time, and where careful planning leads to meaningful results. So I feel like you shine in roles that value long-term strategy over quick wins, and I feel like people will appreciate your ability to nurture projects to full fruition. So, for example, maybe some of you here are financial planners or investment advisors who build sustainable growth. Maybe some of you here are project managers who oversee multi-year initiatives. Or maybe some of you here are business owners who develop a brand or a venture that grows steadily and intentionally. We also have the Sage, Jupiter, and it says, "The truth will set me free." Pile 4, you are naturally wise, spiritual, wealthy, gracious, intuitive, inspired, devoted, expansive, self-reflective, truth-seeking, emotionally intelligent, truthful, philosophical, and charitable. So Pile 4, I feel like you thrive in spaces where planning and precision and tactical execution are valued as well. I feel like you have this gift in connecting vision to actionable steps, right? Like you can see how ideas can become reality and guide others to get there. So you stand out because your mind naturally organizes chaos into structure, which makes complex projects achievable. So maybe some of you here are business strategists or consultants who create actionable growth plans. Or maybe some of you here would be more interested in a military or logistics or operations role that requires precision and foresight, right? Or maybe some of you here want to be a coach who helps clients break goals into those tangible steps so that they can see real world success. So next, let's talk about career pathways and possibilities. We'll talk about the types of careers, roles, or directions that align with your soul's blueprint, and we'll talk about real-world examples or archetypes. So we have the Seven of Swords here, and I feel like your career is going to thrive when you reclaim personal power and you stop letting external expectations dictate your choices. I feel like your gift is seeing the tools at your disposal and it's using them wisely to create real impact. You shine when you focus on your unique combination of skills and talents instead of following formulas that don't really align with you, right? So, for example, maybe you're an entrepreneur who launches a business that reflects your unique skill set. Or maybe you're a creative professional who explores unconventional approaches to problem solving. Maybe you're a consultant or a coach who helps clients uncover hidden potential in themselves. We also have the Sun, manifestation, power, 1111. Be patient, it will come. I'm not sure if any of you here have been seeing angel numbers, repeating numbers, 111, 222, 1111, 1212, 1010. If you have been seeing angel numbers, let me know in the comments below. I love to see who else is seeing synchronicities, clairvoyance symbols and things like that. Because I've been seeing a lot of 1111, a lot of 1212, 1010, 555, 888, 777. So yeah, there are different numbers that pop up at different moments in time. Maybe some of you here are like, I'm literally seeing all the numbers. So you're definitely getting communication from the universe for sure. But with this card, I feel like your soul is drawn to things like depth and meaning and presence. And I feel like you would do best in a career where your work engages with life's big questions, right? Like existential truths or transformative experiences that are perfect for you. I feel like you stand out because you bring a richness and a gravity to your work that others find grounding and inspiring. So maybe some of you here are writers or speakers or teachers who are exploring life's deeper questions. Maybe some of you here are grief counselors or spiritual guides who support people through profound life transitions. Or maybe some of you here are artists or filmmakers or content creators who explore themes of presence and mortality and meaning. So next, let's talk about how you'll be valued and compensated. We'll talk about how recognition and money and fulfillment will come to you when you step into this path, and what long-term success could look like for you. So we have the Eight of Wands here, and I feel like recognition and reward come when you embrace intuition, mystery, and things like creative insight. I feel like people are going to value the unique perspective that you bring, Pile 4, and I feel like you are somebody that sees things that others cannot. So I feel like you stand out because you can navigate ambiguity, you can illuminate hidden truths, and you can guide them through uncertainty. So again, maybe some of you here want to be a consultant or a coach who specializes in intuitive guidance. Or maybe some of you here want to be a creative professional who explores abstract or complex themes that other people struggle to articulate. Maybe some of you here are a spiritual mentor who helps other people uncover hidden patterns in life or in their business. We also have Solar Cycle 7, Will. So I feel like your fulfillment and your compensation are going to come when your work aligns with your personal mission and brings tangible results, right? So success is tied to purpose-driven accomplishments, not just financial gain. And people are going to notice when you bring vision into action, and they're going to be willing to reward you for it. So for example, maybe you're a project leader who completes transformative initiatives that visibly impact others. Or maybe you're an entrepreneur who is launching a venture that changes lives. Maybe you're a thought leader whose teachings produce measurable growth or change in others. Now let's get some additional insights. We have Boundary Cloak. This one says gentle, loving protection. So I feel like your final insight is the importance of creating inner and outer safety, Pile 4. The more that you nurture yourself, the more that your gifts can shine. And I feel like emotional balance is part of your career strategy. So you stand out because your calm, grounded presence allows other people to trust you and follow your lead and feel safe in taking risks. So maybe some of you here are a leader or a coach who models healthy boundaries while guiding teams. Or maybe you're a healer who maintains personal energy practices to best serve clients. Maybe you're an entrepreneur who structures your business to avoid burnout while you maximize impact. So let's roll some Astro Dice. Let's get some more information for Pile 4. What career or job will truly value your gifts? Okay, so we have Pluto in the 4th house. So with Pluto in the 4th house here, I feel like your core gifts involve transforming, healing, or deeply understanding emotional and family dynamics. I feel like careers that truly value this tend to focus on things like psychology, counseling, maybe even real estate, ancestral work, or private investigation of personal histories. So maybe some of you here, again, want to be a therapist or a counselor where you help your clients navigate deep emotional or family issues. Maybe some of you here want to be life coaches who specialize in family dynamics, and you can guide people to transform patterns. Maybe for some of you here, you would be interested in being a real estate investor or a home consultant where you turn properties and lives around. I could also see some of you here taking an interest in being like a genealogist or a family historian, right? Somebody who uncovers hidden truths in family lines. I also feel the element of social work. Maybe some of you here want to be a social worker where you can transform people's lives who are in challenging home environments, right? Or maybe some of you here are drawn to private investigator work where you focus on family or domestic matters. I just feel like your gift is turning emotional depth and intensity into tangible transformation. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that your gifts were given to you for a reason, and there is a career out there that will not only see your value, but reward it. Remember that your gifts matter and that the world is waiting for them. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments what pile you picked and what came up for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs encouragement to follow their true calling. If you want to go deeper, I have my private readings, my online shop, and my podcast, all linked for you below in the description of this video. I'm so honored to be connected with each and every one of you friends here. Lots of love, Tidal fam. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, friends. Love y'all.